We'll start over. Hello. This is a message of oneness titled The Crown of Wisdom. So I'd like you to just visualize you got a crown on your head as the royalty that you all are. So with a lot of negative energy and chaos going on in the world right now, we may feel as if we're caught up in drama and we're caught up in water, which stands for our emotions as well as spirit. And it feels like we might drown at some point. So it's time to wear this crown of oneness, to release any separation that we have between us and Source, and that's what this talk is about. So to begin, I ask you, how buoyant are you feeling today with everything that's going on in your life, being able to float around? Meaning being able to float in the energy of oneness, of feeling, since we're caught in our emotions and our feelings are water. It's a great recognition to stay afloat. When we can offer to ourselves divine buoyancy, the opportunity to experience just being, not taking from what's going on in life, just having our presence, not destruction. What a gift indeed for all of that. And now it's time for all of us to claim our wisdom container. And that means, beloved beings, that you are all children of God. We all are. We are the children of ancient wisdom, modern wisdom, future wisdom. Of all the wisdom that there is in the universe, we are a part of that. And we are learning how to be just the wisdom of oneness. So I ask you, what does it mean to be filled up with wisdom? What does it mean to recognize the wisdom of the ages? What is it to be the effervescence of the buoyancy of oneness and allness in all ways? It's as if you've been in a soda can. Someone has shaken you up much and suddenly the top is popped. What happens? You have effervescence everywhere. You've experienced that, most likely. There is no discernment when it happens with us. It's on our face, it's on our clothes, it's next to you. So you can all be and claim to be a bubble of effervescence of the oneness. That'd be good? With the oneness that can be on your face, your clothes, all of that. You can integrate and discern everything that goes on in your life with joy. So let's go back to wisdom. Are you ready for the wisdom that has permeated all age energies to come forward now in the expression of your life at this time? Think about that. You all wear the crowns of life. I ask you to put it on your head. And lo, that we wear that. It's a great crown indeed because it's a wisdom container. So I want you to take a moment now and feel it on your head. Feel the energy of the oneness of this crown that goes through you. Enjoy it and see if you can inside be connected to the oneness of all. Be present with it right now while I talk. Understand that within the content of the oneness there is great wisdom that offers to each being a divine conduit of presence, love, energy, joy, peace, abundance, and so much more. And the recognition of the oneness through the allness, another word to bring into it. And so remember, divine ones, you chose to be here at this particular time. You chose to come forth into this physical body and these experiences that are happening. You came here to open the gateway to the portal of all life and to the recognition of what oneness is. You've now come forward from a time of abundant allness. And allness is attempting to express to you right now without limitation of anything in your life. Because limitation is indeed birth of density and form, which is what we have in this physical body and all the stuff that we have in our life. So how can one limit limitlessness? Think about that. Tongue twister too. There's another part of wisdom that you're gaining, connecting to the limitlessness within. And when you recognize that allness is an expression of love, allness is an expression of light with everything. And you will see that this allness has come forward in a manner that has released all forms. We let go of all forms of what it is in life. That includes your bodies, your life experiences. You let them go. Within the mind of density, there is a comprehension of form. There is the form, and then there is the perceived formless, which is God, Source, Spirit, in this form. Can we really connect to that? That is when you believe that you can see with the body, with eyes, these human eyes that are composed of density issues. There's that side, and then there is spiritual sight, how to see a different way. You are now claiming wisdom through many, many layers of divine illumination into the expansion and relaxation of just being with life. How much more energy would be available to you in your life, beloveds, if you quit questioning yourself about what's going on in your life? How many times in a moment of any day do you question yourself about what you're doing, what you're thinking? Or how often do you question others, seeking to validate one belief or form that should work for everybody? When you release even half the questions that go on in your mind during the day, how much more energy do you have for love? How much more energy do you have for divine reunion and connection and allowing it to come forth? How much more available are you then, beloveds, for the wisdom of all ages that it's there for you? By understanding the oneness, we recognize the allness in all of its expression as a beautiful gift. Find it and you experience it by claiming divine empowerment within yourself. When you expand your heart to be in the allness without any limitation, without boundary of form, when you could say to heck with these human eyes and I want to see with the eyes of God, then you see the truth from then on and the allness comes forward even more, does it not? Beloved ones, this is the great time right now to see the oneness of all that is before you. This oneness is within you, and it's around you, and it's as you, and it's a part of you. You are not separate from anything in this world. And as you grow further with Christ consciousness, which is what we're practicing here, and you empower your wisdom, you become the expression of allness with the understanding of oneness. All that there is and the one of what there is. It's the vital first step. So, in order for you to embrace this allness, there's a great chore that's being placed before you right now. If you choose to call it a chore, but it can be quite a big one. And that chore is to release all judgment of yourself. Of yourself. So many times in your wisdom and expression of allness, your divine expression has now come forth and it said, I wish to experience allness so that I shall experience judgment and hate and anger and guilt and distrust and all the other things that come with the human body. I say hallelujah to that we get to experience all of what there is and make choices for ourselves. So, to seek to contain or to block the allness is a judgment because you need to allow it to be. To seek to contain your own expressions, whatever they are, limits the limitless. We don't want to do that. We want to open up to all of it and see it and feel it and understand what it is so that we can see the allness of all of life. So to question our lives, to question things that go on for the sake of questioning, because our mind tends to get busy with stuff, what it does is it perpetuates a belief system of density, that somehow we're dense we're this form that we live in, instead of seeing how we could expand beyond it. Right now, you, as your density expression, meaning in this physical body, is indeed at this time into a journey of more oneness. And in that process, your choice must be clear. To either continue with allness or not. It is not that one ends and one begins. It's not like a space here, or here it is, and there's a space, and here's another one. It is that the two become apparent in the oneness of all. There is no separation. There is no God and. There is no life and. It is all one. And it's all that's expressed because there's no separation. And this can be confusing to us as humans with the mind that we have in our body, can it not? We look at it and say, how can there be two if there's only one? Well, beloved ones, one and one is always one in the spiritual life. It's only in our world that one and one make a two. And we need to look at that separation. It's important to recognize where you are in yourself right now in this time of reunification, which is really a strong thing that's happening to us. Perhaps it's become time to stop judging yourself. Or perhaps it's time to judge yourself like you've never judged it before. And just see the allness of that. Simply pay attention to your choices. What you really take in. Each choice will manifest itself to the divine oneness. And see how that works. Keep looking and seeing there's no separation. Wherever I'm at, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling is all part of the allness, all part of the oneness. And the wisdom crown that you have that brings in this wisdom radiates with abundant light. It has a crystalline matrix around us. So it's time to speak to your heart through that crown. Time to illuminate your heart. Time to anchor your heart. When you anchor your heart with the crown, wisdom crown, you get to be the precious being that you are through the wisdom of oneness that comes forth. And when you experience that, then the divine birth is at hand. Remember when you said yes in the beginning of time? You said, yes, I will come down into this planet of density. I will go to the densest of the dense to celebrate the reunion of oneness. But I have to do it through going through separation first, believing that's the truth. So when you brought this energy forth, when you came down in, you celebrated gratefully. You came here to be a joyous celebration of being in physical form, to learn, to love. And so your beloved world is birthing right now. And it is not a twin, it is not a triplet, it's your birth. But it's still the oneness. It's all births. Perhaps what's being birthed more in you is the truth of you. The higher truth. Not the limited thinkings that your human mind lets go during the day, but you are now birthing, beloved ones, and it doesn't happen outside of you, it happens through you. To allow, think about that, to allow a new birth to keep continuing from your soul, from your Christ consciousness. So, if it's a birth, the question might be, can you midwife yourself at the same time? Can you hold the space for others while they go through theirs? Knowing that you are the observer, you are the witness to all of life. You are the one. You are not a victim. You are a participant. You get to stand up and witness yourself in all aspects of your life. Witness for each other as the oneness that we are. Birthing for yourself as you birth for others. So again, let's say that you started by letting go of any judgment that you have about you. And this is an important statement here. If you choose to remain in judgment, or those around you choose to remain in judgment, thank them for helping you recognize where you still may hold judgment in yourself. Think about that. As the oneness of all, that we get people around us in situations that still point out when we judge ourselves. So for those around you, in those choices, they gift you divinely, because when they're in front of you, you have to work at releasing judgment of those and of yourself. If you choose to, of course, you don't have to. Each is in their divine, precious wisdom reunification. Everyone is part of the oneness. Everyone is birthing. Everyone is growing through the connection to the I Am consciousness. And we get to be part of it. And so, beloved ones, this work that you're doing right now is a joyous gift if you choose it to be. Or it can be like shackles that are holding you back if you choose it to be. It's your choice. How do you want it to be in your life? So allow yourselves to decide, do I purify my body to hold a higher vibration in it, my connection to I am consciousness? Or does my ego say, no, I really like the density I'm feeling in my physical body. I like the density of the experiences that happen to me. Because if you're in conflict here, then you've already made another choice to stay in conflict. And that's good because it'll still show you where you're judging yourself, where you're limiting yourself. And very important to observe where we're at, what choices we're making every moment of the day. And now, because of all that, it's time for celebrating and discernment. So, beloved ones, we need to know the greatest illusion in this world is the one that you give to yourself about your life. When you are unable to look into the truth of who you are, why you chose to come here. Because the truth of you has so radiantly and joyously, abundantly, lovingly, and divinely supported you and the allness of you. So how could that have ever been wrong? It's not. It's only the judgment from your mind of your own actions that creates the energy of wrongness. You are encouraged to begin within yourselves because it's useless to delude yourself that you cannot release judgment of others, or even that you think you can release the judgment of others if you're still holding judgment within yourself. That's a delusion. You can't do that. So we have to model this forgiveness for ourselves and others, for ourselves, and we have to model it for other people, which is part of the oneness. Therefore, when we're connected to that oneness and allness, it's a divine celebration, and we get to gaze at every human being on this planet with heart-centered understanding and gratitude and say to them, thank you for serving me so well. Thank you for helping me open up. Thank you for being. How would that be if we said that to every person? If we said it to ourselves? Even the ones that you claim in judgment to have committed horrific crimes, could you say that to them? This is a great discernment. It's very important, beloveds, because it says that you can recognize that every human being is doing their part just as well as you are, knowing that their actions will receive the soul energy that they are needing for their own completion. That's why we're here, to grow in our soul. And every situation that happens is there for that. If we can see that we're working towards our soul energy for our own completion on this planet. Others might say it's not your job. If you were to have a job, another word of density, which, by the way, perhaps it would be if your job was to fully embrace the truth of who you are. Fully embrace everything of who you are, the allness of who you are. And watch, where are you judging yourself about yourself? Where is there something you're holding back that you need to let go? And know that no matter how hard it feels, you are trying. And it has always been well. We just need to open up to that it's okay. This in your world is one of the few certain things that is before you, that everything is okay, and we're moving into it even more and more. So be careful and cautious as you bring forth your discernment and pay attention to the oneness. Really work at getting that in. You're wearing the crown right now. Feel the oneness. I am not separate from anything in this whole world. And when my questions as a human come forth, and questions are a gift actually, simply put a discernment to your question and ask this: is it my mind that's asking just to ask? Or does my heart really wish to be free? Do you get the difference between that? You get to see, is it just my mind trying to think about these things? Or is my heart really asking to be free? Because if we ask questions just for the sake of the mind, then it will perpetuate that mind even more so.
which is a good thing too. So get clear on your choices. It's always choices, no judgment. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Your world has entered a phase of abundant expansion. It's not limited by the perception of any understanding of any word, which we tend to do. We have millions of words that we have that we say, and sometimes we get stuck and caught up in certain words that we have to let go of. Abundance, that's a word. Not only do we need to let go of some words, other ones we need to claim on more, and that's one. Abundance is an energy. Just like fear and chaos is an energy. Like love and peace is an energy. Abundance is an energy. We are energy. We can draw it to us. And when your clarity comes forth in your life, the energies and the expression of allness will support your clarity. So what that means is, as you move further into oneness, all become one, and one become all. It always has been, and so it is. So I invite you to take a deep breath right now. There's a lot of words being expressed. And invite your mind in this moment to simply feel peace inside. Let go of everything but peace. Can you do that right now? You've got the crown of wisdom on your head. Feel the peace. And in this moment, be at peace within yourself. Can you even imagine in a moment in your life everything without limit in the allness of life, in divine harmony? What a gift to know that everything is here without limit. That's just an old belief. So I want you, beloved ones, to feel the bliss. There's another word. Feel the bliss of yourself as a soul. Experience this great dance. And I'd say to you, may the harmony of oneness as a divine gift received from the allness of all there is empower you and your crown of wisdom that you're wearing into the clarity, the effervescent clarity. Remember that word I said before? As it blows out of you, the clarity that you share with all, and let go of judgment of anything and connect to the oneness. So I tell you all, as I share this message, you are loved deeply, and so it is, and experience the abundant love that's within. Namaste.
Namaste.